Test. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Brian Disney, and I'm honored and blessed to be the principal here at Mooresville High School. And I welcome you to the Mooresville High School's 137th commencement ceremony. We ask that you silence all cell phones and electronic devices, and please remain seated throughout today's ceremony. All right, let's try this again. This is kind of how the year has been. We thought we had it fixed between ceremonies, and they decided to go back, so I don't know. So once again, we ask that everyone remain seated throughout today's ceremony so that the graduates' family members and friends can enjoy today's commencement. We also ask to please take all personal pictures from your seats, and please continue to wear your mask throughout today's ceremony and while on school property. The class of 2021 thanks you for your cooperation in these ways. And now, without further ado, I present to you the class of 2021.
Good morning. My name is Grace Stanton, the treasurer of the senior class. And out it goes.
I'm Elizabeth Meyer, the secretary of the senior class. On behalf of the class of 2021, please rise, remove your hats, and join us as we honor our country in saying the Pledge of Allegiance and singing the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to welcome you to Mooresville High School's 137th graduation ceremony. The class of 2021 asks for your assistance in maintaining the rich tradition and dignity of today's ceremony by remaining seated throughout the ceremony and holding all applause until all the names have been read. We and our families appreciate your support in ensuring that we can hear our names called in recognition of our achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace and Elizabeth. At this time, I would like to introduce some of the special guests joining me here at the front of the gymnasium. Mr. Randy Taylor, the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bill Roberson, President of the School Board of Trustees, Mr. Matt Sainer, School Board Vice President and birthday boy, MHS Assistant Principals, Mrs. Chrissy Owens and Mr. Wes Upton. At this time, I would also like to recognize other educators who have worked diligently to provide opportunities for our graduates to succeed, including school board members, the assistant and associate superintendents, school administrators, teachers, counselors, social service providers, and coaches. Please join me in giving these valued educators a round of applause. On this Memorial Day weekend, I ask that all members of the class of 2021 who will be joining our military to please stand. I also invite veterans and other members of our armed forces to also stand at this time so that we can recognize them for their service and sacrifices to our country, that we may have the freedoms that we enjoy today. Please join me in giving these amazing men and women a round of applause. The class of 2021 is a truly wonderful class who has led Mooresville High School to many successes this year. Despite our mask mandates, social distancing, and close contact tracing, they have continued to excel in academics and extracurricular activities. They have persevered through the most challenging school year of my career, and I'm so proud of all of you and what you have accomplished under these less than ideal circumstances. You are true heroes to me. Some special recognition. This is the first class that had an second class that had IHSAA state championship in unified football, as well as a state championship in esports. And we have some individuals that have been competing on Saturday on Friday in the state finals for track and field. We wish those track runners the best of luck. Our graduates have also earned many academic awards throughout this year. Over 50 of our graduating seniors have been awarded nearly $3 million in scholarships to further their education. 73 graduates are being recognized for their character, service, and academics as members of the National Honor Society. They are wearing gold stoles. Nearly 45% of our graduates are wearing gold tassels to recognize them for having earned academics or technical honors diploma. These students maintained at least a B average while taking a more rigorous course load, including additional math, science, and world language courses. These students have also earned college credits and/or industry certifications for their coursework while still enrolled at Mooresville High School. Students who rank in the top 20 of the graduating class based upon the cumulative grade point average are also wearing an additional medallion. And lastly, our valedictorian and salutatorian are wearing special medallions for earning the highest grade point averages in this outstanding class. Please join me in giving the awesome class of 2021 a round of applause for their many achievements and successes. And now, seniors, for the final time in your high school careers, I will share with you a few words of wisdom. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands at moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at a time of challenge and controversy." Since March of 2020, you have faced numerous challenges and controversies. You did not have a senior year that was primarily marked by fun and games, but rather by the ever-changing circumstances and policies. Through these adversities, you have excelled in so many areas, mentally, emotionally, physically, and academically. It has not always been easy, but you have met each day with tenacity, courage, strength, love, compassion, and perseverance. The members of the Mooresville High School class of 2021 have demonstrated that they will be successful because they can and will overcome great obstacles. And now, as you commence or begin this next stage of your life, you must decide how you will make an impact on the world, what goals you will pursue, and what you will accomplish. After you walk across the front of the gymnasium and begin the next stage in your life where you will pursue your own dreams, remember these words of St. Ignatius of Loyola to his followers: "Go forth and set the world on fire." Set the world on fire with your tenacity and your perseverance. Set the world on fire with your courage and your strength. Set the world on fire with your love and your compassion. Set the world on fire with your toughness and determination. Do these things and set the world on fire with these amazing qualities so that you will make our world a better place. With something to think about, this is Dr. Disney. And now, seniors, make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. At this time, I would like to introduce Aiden Walker Raymond, the salutatorian of the class of 2021. Aiden is the son of John and Christina Raymond. He is a member of the Math and Science academic teams, National Honor Society, and Champions Together. Aiden will be attending Purdue University to study civil engineering. Aiden Raymond.
Hello. So when I made this speech, I based it off of my favorite show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. So Just keep that in mind. That's what it's about. The past can be a great teacher. Your experiences and your attitude, even if you're not consciously aware of it, shape your character. In my favorite show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's Aang that said that first line. When I first watched Avatar, I was maybe 6 years old and just thought it was a fun show. I saw people moving water and fire with their mind, and my thought processes ended there. I just thought it was a cool show. Being a 6-year-old, any lessons I could have learned from the characters were pretty base level. I wasn't fully aware of what I was experiencing, which is okay because I could barely read. But when I decided to rewatch the show in full, my perceptions of the show changed dramatically. As I got older, I wasn't only able to perform better in school, but just my ability to analyze the world around me and what I thought was important also improved. Every character in Avatar is so different from each other, just like everybody in this room, but most of them have one thing in common. Their journey allowed them to develop and better themselves. Even the most hard-headed characters learn to open themselves to new experiences. They overcame their flaws in ways unique to themselves, but not without guidance. While it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing. And that is a quote from Iroh, who is basically everybody's guidance in that show. He's an uncle. Of all the characters, there's Sokka. He learned to abandon his prejudices. Aang learned to deal with responsibility. Katara learned to live her own life while still helping others. Toph learned to let people in. Zuko learned what he truly wants in life. And the list goes on. All the characters, they're so different from each other. But through their own paths and their own struggles, they all figured out what they wanted to be and how to better themselves individually. In many ways, I think we can all relate to these characters. None of us are the same. We all have different problems and different expectations for ourselves. What I want for myself is different from what you or anyone else wants. And when we are confronted with different personalities and different people from different places, it forces us to think. Just like Aang, the naive kid, meeting Toph, a stubborn and closed-off girl, in high school we associate with people that feel like they're from other worlds. We learn more about ourselves as we learn about others. Of course, our parents, teachers, and role models, whether they're real or fictional, they nurture these changes. They shouldn't tell us what to think, but they let us discover these things for ourselves. The best role models lead you down the right path, but they let you learn for yourself. Like Iroh, he never told Zuko where his honor would come from, but he helped Zuko find it for himself. The show reminds us to accept change. There's always time to improve yourself. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and insight can come from anywhere. School is where you prepare yourself for a future career, but don't let that be your only classroom. See everything as a new learning experience. And I don't mean just to go to the library and start reading a lot of history books. As you live your life, you should see the value in everything around you, even if you don't initially expect there to be any. Think about things in respect to your own life, other people's lives, or just society as a whole. Listen intently to somebody who wants to give genuine advice, or watch a kid's show with open eyes. I mean, really, you can learn from anything. You can watch your dog and see how it loves unconditionally and lives without stress. There's always ways to learn. One of my favorite moments in the show is when Zuko is reunited with Iroh after his journey of self-discovery. Zuko had basically opposed Iroh's advice in every possible way and even wholly abandoned his uncle. But still, Iroh showed no anger or bitterness. Iroh says in response to this, "I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was afraid you'd lost your way." And Zuko replies with, "I did lose my way." And Iroh says again, "But you found it again, and you did it by yourself, and I'm so happy you found your way here." I love that a kid's show deals with topics as raw and real as unconditional love and forgiveness. And really, this is only one of the examples in the 61 episodes. What I'm getting at is even a kid's show like Avatar is an amazing learning experience. The show may only be 3 seasons long, but there's a complete story in that short span. Instead of dragging on for 7 seasons and making the most profit, the show is only as long as it needs to be. There's beauty in brevity. A short and sweet story is one you can look back on, appreciate, and reminisce on. Like high school, graduating high school is scary, but so is any new beginning. We might not be able to run through the halls or say hi to our favorite teachers anymore, but we do have those memories. And what is life but a growing collection of memories? If there's one thing I want everybody to know, it's that Avatar is a great show, and everybody here should watch it. Thank you, and good luck.
I would now like to introduce to you the valedictorian of the class of 2021, Jacob Randy Eister. Jacob is the son of Randy Eister and Sandy Eister. Throughout high school, he participated in Champions of Character, Student Council, National Honor Society, Leader in Me, and Pioneer TV broadcast. In the fall, Jacob will attend Purdue University to study health science in preparation for applying for medical school. Jacob Eister.
All right. Before I get started, I'd like to extend the sincerest thanks to all of you for coming today. Perhaps more than ever, this day is a culmination of our collective past. The last 14 months brought with them inarticulable hardship and required us as a collective to contemplate our identities in addition to our priorities. The fact that we stand here today is a glowing reflection on account of the progress we've made since that fateful day last March when school first closed. Hold on, paper's not being compatible. There we go. And it is because of this infallible resolution that a vibrant future laden with hope is finally ours to pursue. But in acknowledging the existence of that future, so too must we give credence to what is and what will soon become the past. I, like my classmates, owe a great deal of individual thanks to a whole host of people, the likes of which have given us guidance, patience, and their time. It's a debt we may, in all reality, never be fully able to repay. It's not feasible to acknowledge every single one of them now, but I'd be remiss if I didn't try. To the teachers of Mooresville, under whom we've grown as leaders, scholars, and people for the past 13 years, thank you for all of the liberties you've taken to see us succeed. Thank you for your unwavering devotion to helping us grow as much in the heart as we have in the head. Thank you for doing all of this thankless work in the name of goodness and for glaring in the face of every obstacle, no matter how large, so that our future might be better for it. You all will hold a special place in our hearts for years to come. To the administration of the high school, with whom we've called this place a second home for the past 4 years, we appreciate you for cultivating an environment in which learning and camaraderie can coexist. We appreciate you for your uncompromising commitment to the student experience, no matter how much it might ripple the proverbial pond of tradition. And moreover, we appreciate you, even as we spend our final hours in this building, for giving us a place to craft new paths and memories alike. Although our paths may henceforth diverge, you will not be forgotten. To the healthcare workers of our town and beyond, thank you for making this year and every year possible. The innumerable hours you serve as the foundation of our working society are invaluable. Finally, to the parents, grandparents, siblings, and family members of us graduates, we love you. We love you for your care and patience that both enable and encourage us to forge new paths ahead. We love you for your steadfast dedication to our growth, from teaching us to walk to teaching us to drive. And finally, we love you profoundly, unconditionally, and in perpetuity for the love that you have given us. It's exerted an unquantifiable influence on who we are and what we've become, and you deserve the world for it. Before I go on, I'd like to ask my classmates to join me in giving all of these individuals a gigantic round of applause. The way I see it, it's the least we can do to say thanks. And to my fellow graduates, after today is over and far into the future, I encourage you to seek out the individuals that have been integral to your growth and make them clearly aware, vehemently aware of how much they mean to you. It's with their help that we conquer the most difficult of trials. And as a group, no more often have we overcome obstacles than in the last year. We've all made sacrifices, and some of us, too, have suffered great losses. A year ago, it would have been impossible to anticipate the frenzy of events that have transpired within the past year, and yet, here we are. We come here today not whole, but resilient and driven. More than ever, life is far from perfect, but the standard of normalcy is evolving. As we emerge from our darkest hours as a nation in the last few decades, the words of all people, SpongeBob SquarePants, ring ever true. With imagination, you can be anything you want. The contents of our world have not changed. No, it is custom that has been flipped on its head. Our recent past has been precarious, but our present is capricious. It's subject to change, and it is this change that we command, this change that we control. There is no rule book for how the next 50 years should be carried out. And as emerging young adults, we have the power to write that rule book. In our developed world, there are still so many unanswered questions, but they're questions that I'm confident we can and will answer. Note, too, that solving these problems doesn't necessitate going to college, knowing that in being here today, in making it this far, you've already gained the power to make your mark. Where you go from here, regardless of wherever that may be, is both an extension and a demonstration of that power. These only come in one size. Sorry about that. But it's not entirely so simple. As Patrick Starr says, the inner machinations of the mind are an enigma. Life isn't rooted entirely about trying to change the world. It's a culmination of both our work and the smaller moments that make that work worth doing. It's as much about the endurance of spirit as it is the reason for the spirit to endure. And as I alluded to earlier, there is perhaps no greater embodiment of purpose than the people we get to share our lives with. Over the past 12 years, Mooresville has seen us through a solid 2/3 of our lives, from learning to read picture books to learning how to read, or almost how to read in my case, Shakespeare. In this time, we've undergone substantial emotional development, maybe more than we ever will in the future, as a function of growing up. And through this, we've formed lasting friendships. When all's said and done, these developments are just as important as any factoid from the classroom. The people we've gotten to know, the laughs we've shared, and the stories we'll be able to tell are as much a reflection of our time together as any project, essay, or presentation could be. The people we've come to know keep us grounded in our most difficult moments and stick around to celebrate the products of those times. To quote Dwight Schrute, we must never acquiesce, for it is together that we prevail. Now and into the future, the people we know and will know are the ones that will stimulate our success. Few successful journeys are made alone. And today is reflective of this very idea. Over 300 people started on this journey 13 years ago, and it's today that we celebrate a transition to this journey's next phase. Now, with respect to that mode of thinking, I'd like to talk about the door metaphor. It's the adage of, something will open doors for you. So-and-so is an open door is all too common. And while the intentions behind this trope are wholly good, the mention of a door opening confers the possibility of that door later closing. To that end, it's entirely possible that some people view today as the closing of one door and the opening of another. The truth is, though, that today remains a part of a continuous string of past and coming days. Today marks not the closing of the door, but the removal of its lock. We go forth smarter than ever, stronger than ever, and uninhibited in our wake. As young adults, we have legacies to write, much to gain and little to lose, and what we may lack in worldliness, we compensate for with ambition. Andy Bernard once said that, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." We've had 12 years of good old days, but we do not leave them today. Faces may change and places may change, but the sentiment remains the same. The best of our lives remains in front of us, and never more have we been so prepared to confront it. There is no demarcation between past, present, and future. They're a continuous whole that constantly shapes us and responds to our growth. Who we are yesterday carries over into today, and who we are today carries over into tomorrow. We have the power to change who we are today, but we carry with us the lessons of the past. We have the power to change the world tomorrow, but we carry with us the reality of the present. With that said, the future is, without a doubt, an extant form of this present. And as leaders, innovators, and thinkers, as pioneers, no one stands to benefit from that idea more than we do. And so, as we look toward the future, we do so with an air of confidence and careful ambition. We look fondly upon the days that came before and know in our heart of hearts that these great years have been but preparation for the next leg of the journey toward excellence that is to come. We carry with us both the teachings of the past and the people of the present as we fly toward the growth-inspiring puzzles and challenges yet to come our way. Now, it's no secret that the future won't be easy. We may hesitate, we may falter, and we may well change course. But the obstacles we're next to face are just like any other. There's no way around them, only through them. So for these future tribulations, these future opportunities to exert our influence and become better people because of it, we, the class of 2021 here at Mooresville High School, have just 3 short words. Bring it on. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. At this time, I present to you 329 young adults who have completed the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Mooresville Consolidated School Corporation and the state of Indiana, or have completed the goals of their individual educational plan. And to you, Mr. Taylor, Superintendent of Schools, I present the class of 2021, and I recommend they receive their diplomas.
Thank you, Dr. Disney. It gives me great pride to congratulate you, the class of 2021, on attainment of your high school diploma. But this class has done more than complete 4 tough years of hard work. You've also shown the determination, the persistence, and sheer grit to forge through the toughest of circumstances. Therefore, upon the recommendation of your principal and the power vested to me by the Board of Education of Mooresville Consolidated School Corporation and the state of Indiana, I declare the class of 2021 graduates of Mooresville High School. Please come forward to receive your diplomas.
In an effort to maintain the rich tradition and dignity of this ceremony, the class of 2021 requests that you hold all applause and recognition until all the names have been read and all diplomas have been presented. This request is out of respect for every graduate and their families. Jacob Randy Eister. Aiden Walker Raymond. Ellie Nicole Brill. Elizabeth Juliana Meyer. Grace Ann Stanton. Clayton Charles Kohlers. Jenna Liju Tackett. Tyler Jacob Madden. Mark Thomas Madsen III. Jordan Michelle McGee. Blake Robert Maher. Matthew Patrick Majeski. Alexis Joelle Mann. Liana Renee Martos Elliott. Elena Faye Mason. Zoe Elizabeth Matthew. Anthony Wayne Matthews. Gabriela Maria Maturino. Jonah Joseph Mays. Joshua David Mays. Elizabeth Myra McClelland. Malia Nicole McClellan. Lily Brooke Nevada McCubbins. Miles Daniel McGowan. Zoe Lynn McGuire. Emma Therese McQueen. Marissa Noel Metter. Mitchell Allen Meadows. Seth Patrick Malone. Caitlin Grace Mendenhall. Ethan Philip Messacar. Carla Milano. Zachary Daniel Miller. Cirrus Alexandria Mitchell. Ethan Jacob Moeller. Blakely Ella Moore. Brady Alexander Moore. Paisha Bell Mormon. Taylor Nicole Morehouse. Cheyenne Danae Morgan. Raina Joe Mosoff. Jake Daniel Murphy. Emily Faith Napier. Andrew Michael Neff. Alexis Nicole Nelson. Blake Taylor Nigg. Jacob Allen Norton. Thomas Patrick O'Connor II. Autumn Star Onge. Colby Ryan Lee Overpeck. Riley Grace Owens. Anastasia Marie Perdue. Emily Diane Parrish. Riley Grace Parrish. Logan James Lee Payton. Jeffrey Logan Pedigo. Sophie Noel Pence. Darren Wilson Purdue. Frank Aloisi Prikoski IV. Craig Eli Perry. Kayla Renee Peterson. Matthew Allen Phillips, Jr. Roger Curtis Phillips. Samuel Lee Pierce. James Ian Pilkington. Samuel Jeffrey Pipkin. Wallace Marion Pittman, Jr. McKenna Jane Poindexter. Dalton Matthew Pollock. Cassidy Darlene Pollock. Newton Artemis Francis Pope. Logan Michael Prather. Darren James Proctor. Isaiah Daniel Pugh. Elizabeth K. Purdue. Emily Morgan Purdue. Jacob Lee Rakestraw. Jacob Tyler Ray. Rory Nicole Reasoner. Gage Eugene Richardson. Ty Randall Richardson. Zachary Michael Richards. Kathleen Carol Richmond. Michaela Renee Rickelman. Caden Christopher Robinson. Sydney Elizabeth Rockefeller. Amelia Fiona Rose. Elijah Gabriel Allen Ray Ross. John Joseph Rupplinger. Tristan Douglas Russell. Taylor Rebecca May Sadler. Colin Stephen Salee. Dakota Allen Lynn Sanders. Riley Connor Saxberg. Kate Nicole Skaggs. Destiny Sky Schaefer. Joshua William Schaefer. Taylor Nicole Sconce. Jocelyn Lee Scott. Madison Ray Scott. Zane Michael Scott. Trevor Eugene Seal. Mackenzie Ellen Marie Shadle. Addison Lee Schaefer. Taylor Alexandria Short. Layla Ann Skinner. Tyler Ray Skinner. Angel Isabella Slinger. Cameron James Snap. Kara Colleen Squire. Tragan Tyler Staley. Ryder Eli Stanley. Michaela Nicole Starkey. Jocelyn Diane State. Ariel Marie Stedham. Mackenzie Evelyn Stinson. Dane Allen Stevenson. Kelsey Nicole Stevenson. Michael Edward Stoddard II. Jenna Julianne Stone. Donovan Lee Stott. Joshua Paul Stumpf. Shelby K. Swain. Alyssa Lynn Swartout. Jadelyn Elaine Tackett. Levi Grant Taylor. Logan Elijah Taylor. Mackenzie Ann Taylor. Devin Michael Theriak. Tyler Allen Thompson. Isaiah Wayne Todd. Logan Wayne Tollison. Kimberly Nicole Turley. George Anthony Van Blaricum. Allison Lee Vance. Hayden Henry Vaughn. Zoe Marie Hope Villanueva. Abigail Grace Vogel. Hannah Leanne Walls. Chloe Ann Walsh. Audrey Nicole Walters. Malachi David Warren. Colton William Westfall. Madison Ashley Jewel Weston. Jacob Clarence Wheely. Kelsey Ellen Williams. Chloe Michelle Williams. Natalie Rayanne Williams. Vincent Isaiah Williamson. Elaine Nicole Wilson. Nicole Beth Wise. Mason Thomas Wolf. Alexis Brianna Wyatt. Lily Ruth Ann Weimer. Alyssa Faith Yarnell. Hannah Elizabeth Morris. Jada Nicole Wilhelm. Catherine Mary Stansberry. Jaden Tyler Poole. Fate Michael Young.
The class of 2021! At this time, I present to you the senior class president of the class of 2021, Miss Ellie Brill.
All right, guys. Having completed all the requirements and having now received our diplomas, please stand and join me in the ceremonious turning of the tassels. Good job.
I now invite to the podium the student body vice president, Jenna Tackett.
As the newest alumni of Mooresville High School, we invite all Mooresville alumni to stand and join us in the singing of our alma mater.
At the conclusions of today's ceremonies, we do ask the families and graduates to exit the building and meet outside. The graduates will be going into the cafeteria to get to their graduation folders, but they'll be able to meet you outside after they do that. Congratulations to the class of 2021 and their families. At this time, I invite Student Body President Clayton Collars to center stage.
Thank you all for attending today's ceremony to support my classmates and me. Remember that the senior slideshow and replay of the event will be available on demand on Pioneer TV after today's ceremony. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, please remain seated until all the graduates have exited the gym. Thank you.